What's going on, y'all? It's JD Pickell. Today on the Hard Count, is it time for a quarterback change at Texas A&M? We will discuss next. Welcome into the Hard Count, the people's show for every single thing that you know and that you love about college football. It happens here on a daily basis because Nick Brake is doing the heavy lifting, and you can help drive the show by subscribing to the channel. A lot of what we do here is predicated on the feedback that you give us, whether it's in the comment section or whether you're hitting me up on Twitter or Instagram at JD Pickell. You can feel free to do that as well. Now, we got to talk about the quarterback room at Texas A&M. Because the Aggies went out on Kyle Field and got it handed to them against App State. And traditionally, I have a rule that I try to never really go after just one individual because, quite frankly, that's a lazy thing to do. It doesn't take a ton of intelligence, doesn't take a ton of analysis to just point the finger at a head coach or a quarterback or one guy who doesn't make a play. That's pretty lazy to do because college football is the ultimate team game. And so usually there's more than just one issue. We're going to bend that rule a little bit right now. Because when I went back and watched this game, so I've watched this game multiple times, Haynes King is holding Texas A&M back. Because this roster at A&M is extremely talented. Aniyah Smith is a dog. Devon Achane, given the right set of circumstances, could be one of the best backs in the country. Evan Stewart is going to do great things at A&M. They have a lot of pieces here. The defense didn't look amazing on Saturday. We'll get to more of that in a minute, but the defense is littered with players. Here's the issue. Your quarterback is inconsistent, doesn't process extremely well when I watch him on tape. And the release, I'm not a quarterback guru, but the release, from my vantage point, takes a while to get out. I understand he's a great athlete. Jimbo Fisher made it very clear he's one of the best athletes on our team. Elite speed. When he gets out in the open, when he has a chance to really just kick it into fifth gear, the kid has phenomenal athleticism. And that's probably the great equalizer. That's probably why you play him at quarterback. That's why he won the job out of camp, to my understanding. The playmaking ability. However, if he's not able to effectively push the ball downfield, if he can't read the defense properly, or he can't get from his second to third read efficiently, then you're holding yourself back. Especially as an offense, but also as a program. And don't get it twisted. If you play Max Johnson against App State, do you win the game? I don't know. I'm not sure. The offense had issues as a whole. They barely got the football. But I will say this. You probably get the football a little bit more. You hang on to it longer, obviously, if you can convert on third down. And Texas A&M was 2 for 8 on third down. It's not all on Haynes King, but as the quarterback, a fair amount of it is. There were throws that even on his completions, he's throwing behind Yoel Keith Brown on a crucial down, where if he catches it in stride, he can turn up the field and run. Ball's behind him. You see him drop back, and I know there's some criticism that's probably fair right now on the offensive line, but if you're not getting the ball out on time, if you're not getting, again, to that third read quick enough, there's got to be some blame still on the quarterback. Devon Achane ran a kickback. The offense really only scored 7 points. And I understand it's just one game, and the sample size for Haynes King is still relatively small, but the longer we go, the more into this Haynes King era that we get, the feedback isn't great. In, we'll call it 3 games. I know he started 4, but really 3 games because the Colorado game is kind of a wash for me. In 3 games for Haynes King, as a starting quarterback, he has thrown 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. You say, okay, it's not great. You never want to see that number, but who is he playing against, right? Texas A&M in the SEC, they play against some of the best competition in the country. Here are those 3 opponents for them. Kent State, Sam Houston State, Appalachian State. None of those teams are Power 5 schools. None of those teams should be able to bother Texas A&M. App State's probably the most fierce competitor they had, and they beat them in Kyle Field. I keep going back to the same metaphor. You have so many ingredients at Texas A&M. But if you don't have that crucial ingredient, that key ingredient to put it all together, it's all for naught. You can have, if you're making a pizza, let's say, you can have great pepperoni. You can have the best cheese. You can have the best oven to bake it in. You can have the perfect spices, the best sauce, all of that. But if you don't have the dough, you have pizza salad. You don't have a pizza. You got to have the key ingredient at quarterback for Texas A&M. Right now, I have a hard time believing that they do. So do we see a change in the near future? It's obviously not my call to make. Jimbo Fisher is getting a whole lot of money from A&M to make those decisions. But from where I'm sitting, this isn't working. It's gut check time for Texas A&M as a program, but it starts at quarterback because you have a guy in Max Johnson who he's proven he can play in the SEC. You don't have just some slappy redshirt freshman waiting to hopefully get his chance, and you've heard good things about him. No, Max Johnson threw 27 touchdowns, 6 interceptions a year ago for LSU. He can play the position. He can push the ball downfield. I understand it's not just Haynes King, but the things that are just Haynes King, the things that are just on him to execute and control, I haven't seen him do it effectively. So for A&M, are you going to continue to ride this roller coaster? And it will be a roller coaster. There will be some ups for Haynes King. He will do some good things like we talked about. Great athlete. There will also be some downs on this roller coaster. A&M, if they continue to play Haynes King, is not done losing these kinds of games. Your move, Texas A&M. Might be time to start thinking about putting Max Johnson in the game. All this to say, we don't root against Haynes King here. We don't root against Texas A&M. But my eyes work just fine. And they say it's time for a change in College Station. So that's it for us here on The Hard Count. We appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at JDPakel. Also follow me there on Instagram at JDPakel. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.